Alright, before we start this video, I want to issue an apology. There's going to be a green box covering the left side of the screen for all of the video. I forgot to change scenes in OBS before I hit record, and because I have a bug on my OBS that makes it hard to see my preview screen, I didn't notice until I was starting to edit the footage. I apologize. You should still be able to see everything through the green box. It is see-through because it's part of my stream overlay when I play this game on stream. This is just a warning and an apology because I forgot to change scenes. That's on me. Hey, hi, how are you? My name's Felt, and welcome back to some Magic the Gathering. I am actually re-recording this intro after I recorded all my games because I realized this is going to be a really short video if I don't explain some deck tech. So this is going to be a little bit longer of an intro than normal. You can just skip to the games if that's really what you're here for, but I just want to go over how this deck plays a little bit. The biggest idea of the deck is that you want to have Steam Vents in your opening hand, essentially. Steam Vents or Reverglide Pathways as some of your better cards so that you can mana fix as you desire. You want to be able to play something like a Symmetry Sage or a Swift Spear on turn 1, so that on turn 2 you can typically play Balmor or a Static Discharge. And then on turn 3, you will often want to have at least a Symmetry Sage on board, typically a Balmor on board, and maybe a Swift Spear. So 2 to 3 creatures on board. And then you want to play stuff like Reckless Charge and Wizard's Lightning to just make your stuff really big and have haste, and then Wizard Lightning hitting face for 3 each time. Play with Fire hitting face for 2 each time, and all of this combined will just make you just run over your opponent incredibly fast. If your stuff is getting removed, we don't play counterspells in this deck, we just play more stuff. You want to hunt it down, you have to play Expressive Iteration or Mentor's Guidance. But there's sorcery speeds, you have to play them on your turn, so that is a bit of a downside, but hey. Later game plans, we have access to Amara Mystic, which can combo off really hard if you have it in your hand, and a bunch of spells to cast because it gets +2/+0 every time you cast a spell, meaning that if you play it and then cast like Reckless Charge to give it +3/+0, all of a sudden it has 6 base power, and if you had a Symmetry Sage on board, it now has 9 base power, and that is off of 1 card. And then if you play even more cards, like say a burn spell, you'll typically hit pretty hard. And for some reason, Historic is a pretty ground-based format. Most creatures in the format stay on the ground. There's not a ton of flyers. And so Izzet Wizards just goes straight over the top of the enemy every single time. Things you want to think about. If you're going to play this deck, really make sure you have Den of the Bugbear. It's one of the few things that keeps the deck running and profiting in the late game. Being able to just, turn a land into a creature, swing and smack face, and then have it go back to being a land so that it cannot be targeted is really useful when most people are playing out their mana as efficiently as possible in this format. Now, into decks like Elves, you're going to have a real bad problem because the ground is going to get really clogged up. So Swift Spear will have a really hard time making it through without Balmor on board. That's why we like Symmetry Sage. It just goes over the top. Expressive Iteration is busted, in case you don't know. This card is literally banned in, like, a bunch of formats right now because it is just that strong in power level. Being able to, on turn 2, basically look at your top 3, take a card, exile 1, and put the other back at the bottom of your deck, pretty good. Or on turn 3, use it to essentially guarantee a land drop and have a spell in hand to cast afterwards, really, really powerful. This is one of the most powerful cards in Izzet colors to be played on turn 3, in my opinion. Really hard to beat in terms of just raw value. Get a full playset. It's especially good in the later portions of the game because you're paying 2 mana to get access to 2 cards. 2 mana to not just draw 2, but look at 3 and choose 2 to play. Incredibly valuable. Also, Spikefield Hazard, Spikefield Cave, pretty highly recommended. You can exile stuff by pinging it with a hazard, or the cave can just be a tapped land for maybe it's later in the game and you're like, I don't need to ping my opponent for 1, tap land. Like you're in the portion of, I just need lands to animate my Bugbear, or you're just like, oh, I need lands to combo off of my Amara Mystic in a turn or 2, and just, that's a nice little tap land. It means you can run less lands as well. This deck does only run 19 lands. Spikefield Hazard makes it 20, so it's a nice even count. That's most of the deck tech. That's most of how this deck functions. In general, it is pretty straightforward, as you'll see in the gameplay. It's a lot of play spells, make creatures big, hit face. But I just wanted to explain it a little bit because this video isn't very long. I just wanted to give it a little more meat. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and please enjoy the gameplay. Alright, this hand is incredibly mid, but we're going to keep it out of a sense of why not. Especially because we're playing into control, making Umara Mystic incredibly slow. Let's go ahead and scry in response, hunt down a creature. That's probably our best bet, honestly. It allows us to either play Static Discharge to blow something else, or Expressive Iteration on curve. Which is mostly fine. We could have let that enter tapped. I guess our opponent wasn't ready for Izzet Wizards. Cool. Alright, we are on the play. This hand's mid but playable. Swift Spears aren't wizards. But they are one of the only cards that works in the budget version of this deck, so... Let's just Swift Spear it out. Looks like our opponent's either playing Mono Red Aggro or Burn, so triple Swift Spear, probably pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. It gets out their burn spell, so in place of going face, they're going after my creatures. That's really good for me. Goblins. Let's go ahead and kill that. Getting a nice 6 damage here. We might have lethal on this next turn if my opponent doesn't do anything meaningful. Alright, we might win. There's a 50-50 on this one. We might have... Oh, we do have it. Our opponent can... Let's do the math and see what we would have gotten. Okay, so... We would have hit our land drop. And we would have had access to both colors of mana. We would have had a pile of 2/2s. We use Play with Fire. We have a pile of 3/3s, which means we do 9 damage on the swing. If we hit them in the face with the Play with Fire, they have to chump block, which bodes well. Because I don't think goblins have Void Wipes. We could also just hit this and kill it, and then just do 9, so they're up at, down at 2. Meaning any burn spell we hit will kill. So yeah, that worked out. That worked out pretty well. GG's. Pretty solid starting hand. Turn 1 Swift Spear into turn 2 Balmor, or turn 1 Swift Spear into turn 2 Static Discharge. This is one of those moments that Soulscar Mage is better than the Swift Spear because you can play Wizard's Lightning. I think we just play Balmor here, though. Especially when they're playing a... Oh, right. Never mind. Alchemy cards. Cut down. Wow. I didn't realize we were playing Standard. Balmor. Sorry about that. I have a bit of a cough this morning. Weird. Yeah, okay, anyways. I find it weird that they went for double black. Maybe they just have cards in hands that are kind of annoying to, cast without double black. So, swinging for 4. Our next turn, we can play Static Discharge. Swinging for... You'll have 4 toughness, 4 power. You'll have 2 power. 6 damage, plus another 3, that's 9 damage. My opponent will be very low. If we draw another burn spell, that might just be game. Oh, I think that is game, actually. Turn 3 win. Yeah, Izzet Wizards is a really fast deck. Actually, no, sorry, I take it back. That's a turn 4 win. Played a tap land on turn 3. Turn 4 win, though. Izzet Wizards is pretty good. Pretty mid, but also good starting hand. We have triple burn spells and a Balmor, which I like. We'll enter tapped. I don't think anything that plays just a single island on turn 1 plays something worth killing. Does it have talk? That does not have a... Death Touch. The word I was looking for was Death Touch. Now, they could just kill my Balmor, and that'd be a little annoying, but... When it dies, proliferate? Yeah, when it dies, proliferate. NBD. How do we want to do this? Let's do it like this. They do get to proliferate. Looks like they're just playing blue-black poison, which is kind of an interesting choice for this format, but hey. We're just going to hit them with static discharge, make my other static discharge get better, and hit for harder. Just hit them for harder, not like, I don't hit for harder because I'm playing static discharge. Vraska's fall. A little annoying, not the end of the world. Especially with running a Swift Spear. Hitting him for 4. Is that lethal? It's very close. Almost lethal. If we can swing with the end of the Bugbear without it dying, we win. Or if we just find another 1-drop that we can Reckless Charge. What is it? 3 in a red? 1, 2, 3, and a red, and that's game. Buggers! Even if they block Bugbear, we get 2 more damage through. Yeah, Izzet Wizards. Turn 5 win. A little slower than my last one, but my opponent had interaction. How dare they? We go first, and we have the classic triple iteration, so we mulligan. Much stronger hand. We don't want to drop anything, though, honestly. God, if this was a turn 1 hand, it would be amazing. I think you actually play this hand by dropping the Mountain. Now, why do I say that? Well, the Snarl can reveal the events, right? And you might be able to win off of the... Now, we could have gotten in the 1 extra damage with the Swift Spear, because we can Reckless Charge the Sage. That's pretty rough, but they don't want to hit Reckless Charge. Wizard's Lightning might be their best bet. Reckless Charge is just 8. You can cast it for the thing. Okay. Sorry, a little tickle in the throat today. Balmore's really good here. Technically speaking, now I'm wishing I kept the 3rd land and dropped the Swift Spear, but we can't win them all. If they have removal, this gets a lot worse. I mean, yeah, you have to take the Wizard's Lightning. Reckless Charge can be played from the grave. I guess they don't care. Alright, well, we're just gonna hit him for even harder. I don't think this is lethal, but it's a lot of damage, so we're gonna go for it. They are... yeah, sending a nice spicy 2 life. So... yeah, they're in trouble. Any of my burn spells kill.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when sacrifices must be made.
And we win. Easy clap. Izzet Wizards, baby! You can see why this deck is, like, not the scourge of the format, but, like, this is a really popular deck in Historic. Pretty stellar starting hand. Okay. Probably blue into Symmetry Sage. And then red into Balmore. And then we vibe from there. Okay, that bodes decently well for us. Why does it bode decently well? Just because it's a tapped land, meaning they're not like playing aggressively. Dinosaurs, huh? Put this in hand. That in the library. This, play fire. Ten damage on turn 3, pretty good. This is, it's mana ramp, right? It's the classic Bolt the Bird. You kill your opponent's mana ramp, it becomes very hard for them to play the game. One less to cast. Doctor deals 2 damage with dinosaurs. It's +2/+. Okay, that's fine. I think we still win here. Because we play Symmetry Sage, Monastery Swift Spear, Reckless Charge the Sage that is slow, so to speak. Wizard Lightning the face. And yeah, that's Giga game. 9 in the air, 5 on the ground. Yep, Giga game. Nice, easy, clean turn 4 win for me. Dinosaurs, huh? I was not expecting dinosaurs in the queue, but hey. More power to you, opponent. You fight the fight. I'll keep being the scumbag who's playing the turn 3 win deck. GG's, though. Alright, this hand is fine, believe it or not. I might be like, how is this hand fine? Well, you'll see. We'll get there eventually. We'll pay 2 life. Looks like we might be playing an Izzet Wizards matchup. I don't know why they just played a blue source, but hey, who am I to complain, right? Mono blue? Well, let's just go for damage. Is it spirits? Or I don't know. Just go for as much damage as possible here. And I don't know, do we have lethal? We have lethal pretty soon. We might have lethal on this next turn if my opponent doesn't act. GG? We keep. Debatably a toss away, but we keep. We play out Balmor. Balmor gets killed. We profit, right? Balmor doesn't get killed? Oh, interesting. Let's just go for the most amount of damage we can. I was expecting a Thoughtseize there, honestly. Not a corrupt court official. Ah, there it is. Ah, man. Expressive iteration, Sag. Alright, now we're just playing top deck boards. Jacantha, you're just gonna sit over here. Really? Full on 3 mana Hero's Downfall. I mean, hey, if it's working, it's working, right? It's clearly working for my opponents, or who am I to knock their deck list? I'm mostly just sad that Expressive Iteration got lost. Shieldred's a little annoying, but if I draw a burn spell... I don't think this is lethal, but it's a lot of damage. One damage shy. If we just draw another burn spell, or any other spell, actually, I think we just kill them. Any spell is a dub here. Any land is an L. This one will probably stay in, just to show how this deck can get slapped around. Ah, that's so sad. That Consider on top literally would have won me the game. It literally would have won me the game. That's so sad. Oh, hey. I lose 2 life, but we win. Style. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought I was gonna lose that. That really seemed like it was gonna be a loss. I kept, I was riffing pretty hard on my draws there. The Umara Mystic was really not good. But, still hit the Consider. So, all is well. GG's, opponent. You nearly had me. 1 life, but that's all you need. So that's the deck. Thanks for hanging out and watching. You're cool and I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. But let's just talk about the deck a little bit here. As you saw, this deck's really fast. This is probably going to be a pretty short video. I think I got 7 games in, and this video is still probably only going to be like 20-something minutes, knowing my editing. But yeah, no, this deck is really fast. I'm sure there was a couple of games in there that I won as early as turn 3 or 4. This is without the better cards as well. This is with using Monastery Swiftspear in place of Soulscar Mage and like Umara Mystic in place of Dreadhorde Arcanist, you know? Like this is a non-optimized version of the deck. Like you can, if you want to just like go farm wins on the historic queue, and you have most of these cards, which by the way, I don't think there's many rares, are there? I think the rares are, no, Balmor's an uncommon. The rares are the lands. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. Well, I guess Gigantha, but we never got to play Gigantha. We've used Gigantha before. I used it the other night when I was streaming this deck live on my Twitch stream, which has been pretty bad lately because my ISP has been just crapping the bed really hard lately, but that's neither here nor there. There's been games when the Gigantha has been useful. You can use it for extra mana. You can use it as just a 5/5 body. It's a pretty good card. But yeah, this deck, this version of the deck especially, pretty budget friendly. You probably have like Storm-Carved Coasts and Pathways if you played Standard for a decent amount of time. Same with Bugbears and Shivan Reefs. Steam Vents, highly recommend you just craft a full set if you're an Izzet enjoyer. Steam Vents are amazing in every format where they're legal, just like I recommend someone buying a full set of them if they play in paper. Steam Vents is just one of the best lands for Izzet colors in general. It's really, really, really good. Being an island and a mountain, as well as being able to enter untapped on turn 1, albeit at the cost of 2 life, pretty good. This deck, really strong. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.